Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Sean. This is the game room. I'm not on the camera because back before Christmas this year, my camera died. It went green. It still functions, but everything is green. It's like there's a green filter in front of it. I'm not really sure what happened. It's lasted me about 4 to 5 years. It was a great camera. I have not been able to replace it with something that works just as well. So I'm back to using phones. So, anyway, enough of that. We have already completed this work. This is an Interceptor how to paint. We already painted the Terran Commonwealth, or the Terran Commonwealth Squadron in the previous video, and it's taken some time to get this video out. This time we're doing the Callistonian Empire. It's the second half of the box set that comes in the starter box. In the starter box, you get everything you need to play, including 2 full squadrons, or you can buy the squadron by itself, separately. So, totally up to you. The ships are fantastic. They're really cool. So they've all been based with Gray Seer. And, hang on, let me try to see again. They've all been based with Gray Seer, so we have our Gray Seer base paint nearby because we'll need that for touch-ups. The blue I'm using is Magic Blue. There's black, just a straight matte black war paint for the windscreen, the cockpit windows. Dark tone is what I washed them with. Dark tone mixed about 60-40 with water, 60 water, 40 dark tone. I just had a empty bottle that I kind of pre-do that myself, so I don't have to keep mixing it up every time. Do it to what makes it work for you. If we do just straight dark tone, it makes the models really, really dark, and it's not what I wanted. I really just want to highlight the detail, and it's actually the first step we're going to do. Then to do the engines, it's a combination of Maize Yellow, Fire Giant, Orange. And that'll give us that little look like the engines are, ignited. So that's the look we're going for. Okay. And this is the model that we're going to be working on. Okay, so first step is I'm going to use the wash, and I'm going to wash the entire model. And hopefully I can keep this on the screen the whole time. And with these washes, you don't want it to pool. What I'm really after is to get it down into those crevices. You can see the detail show up better once these washes get in there. And I'm just going to cover the entire model. Usually this is like the last step, but the blue that we're going to do over the wash on the wings will cover up this, but it'll also utilize this dark wash to make some of the spaces a little darker blue. You'll see it. You'll see as we get to it. But for right now, I'm just going to cover the whole ship with the wash. And then we're going to let it dry. And the drying is the boring part. It takes forever, but it's worth it. You could do this last. You absolutely could do this last. But I don't want to wash the blue, which is why I do it first. Okay? The ultimate reason is I don't want to wash the blue. So you'd have to be really careful with it. You could wash the blue. It might actually look good. I don't know. I didn't try it. I just did it this way. So what I'm doing is I'm just making sure it's everywhere, and then just hit your brush on a paper towel so it'll soak up any remaining wash. And then just go back and touch areas where you might have a little too much wash, and you don't want it. You don't want too much on there. And get a little too much in there. I'm going to flip it over and see what the bottom looks like. Actually the bottom looks pretty good. Back. Alright, like how it's getting into those darker areas where it should. So, and alright, this is going to take a little while to dry. So I'm going to stick it in my foam here. What's underneath it is toothpicks, guys. Underneath each one of these ships is the hole for the base that comes with the game, which is kind of cool. All I did was just trim off a toothpick to the appropriate size, or enough of the knob, because the sharp end, nothing's going to stick. But if you cut it down some, then you can stick in the hole. It gives you a nice little way to hold it. Okay, enough about that. All right, I'm going to let this dry. We'll be right back. All right, with that dry, next up is we're going to do the windscreens, and for that I'm just using the matte black. And this, you just want to be very careful and just get it into the ship is already set up for you to put it in there. You just have to do it carefully and gently. It's really, this one is really about just pushing paint into the whole windscreen area. Now you have these little spots here on the side. I like to do those as well. Again, very gently. And for my black, I added just a touch of water just to help it to flow off the brush just a little bit better. So same thing on this side. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm trying to work around cameras here, so. Now, if you do accidentally get paint somewhere that you don't want it to and you can't get it cleaned off, let it dry, then go back over it with your gray sear. Alright, with that, the windscreen's done. I need to get some black over here, but I'm going to touch that up with the gray sear, because then we're just going to put, right after the gray sear dries on that, we're going to put the magic blue on there. So I do happen to have a little gray sear already on the palette, just for such a incident. And I'm going to just throw that up. The blue will cover it up also. I just don't want any black to stick out. So I'm just going to just cover it up like so. And if you have anywhere on the windscreen that you need to touch up, like maybe you got a little up on the edge or something, now is a good time to go ahead and touch that up as well. Alright, we'll take a quick pause and we'll come back with the magic blue. Alright, next up is the magic blue that we're going to put on the wings, and just the wings. And that's how I'm painting. You can paint your guys however you want. I'm going to do just these wings to match the rest of my force. Just be very careful around the parts you don't want to be blue. Alright. Now that's going to take a couple minutes to dry. I love the speed paints. They really fill in the gaps. All of this is speed paints except for the black, which is just a Warpaint Fanatics acrylic, just a normal Warpaint Fanatics paint. But otherwise they're all speed paints, 2.0. I really like the speed paints. They're pretty good. They do a good job of not only coloring but filling in the gaps, and you'll see, like on the other planes. Let me grab one. That blue was just a single coating of the blue, and you can see how it gets down in the recesses and makes it look darker than the upper layers. So you can get your layering and your shading all done without having to do multiple coats. Okay, next we're going to do the engines, which are Maize Yellow and the Fire Giant Orange. And this, you don't need much of either. So just put a drop of each out on your palette. And for this, we're just going to hit those two engines right there in the back. They're not highly detailed like the rest of the planes, so the rest of the ship. So we're just gonna make it up. So I'm gonna cover the whole thing yellow, just to give it a glow. And I'm gonna rinse off my brush, and I'm gonna take my Fire Giant Orange and just touch the center. And that's it for that. One final touch that I like to do with my ships is on the windscreen, it's just kind of a flat black. With your gray sear, and I use my small, this is a base coating brush that I've had for years. Get your gray sear and flatten the bristles, so you just do that. And I like to just touch it just to give it that windscreen glare. Yeah, that was probably a little too much. Well, still got my black. Let's go fix it. And alright, I'm going to try that one more time. See if we can get this right. Fortunately, I'm coming at it from a weird angle. It's just because of the camera. So I don't know if this upper camera is helping at all. I hope it is. I'm trying to give two different angles. One's trying to straight down, one kind of more at a little bit of an angle. Hopefully you can see everything that I'm doing. Let's try this again. So again, we just want to the side windows are a little too small. I'm not even going to worry about those, but it's really just to give it a little bit of a glare, like, I don't know, sun, moon, something, some type of lights hitting off the glare, just to kind of keep it from being just flat black. But guys, there you go. Other than letting them dry, these guys are done. I mean, you can get all of your ships painted this quickly. This whole video has been less than 18 minutes at this point. Other than drying time, this is it. I mean, it's not a whole lot to it. I got all the other 9 painted watching the women's hockey championship game. in which Wisconsin beat Ohio State, which is a fantastic game with a penalty shot, 18 seconds left to send it to overtime, and then a great overtime win. If you haven't watched it, sorry, spoiled it for you. Catch it on ESPN while you can, because it was an awesome game, it really was. But I painted the other 9 while watching that, so it doesn't take a whole lot of time. You can knock them out quickly. Okay, I'm going to shut up. Again, Interceptor, I have the other 3 forces. There's 5 total, and I hope to start getting those on the painting table soon. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's helped, and as always, thanks for watching. God bless. Have a wonderful evening. Bye now.